Now, the Financial Services Union has referred the Bank of Ireland to the Workplace Relations Commission over the bank's plans to require staff who are eligible for hybrid working to work in person 8 days a month or 2 days per week. I'm joined by John O'Connell, the General Secretary of the Financial Services Union. And John, thanks for joining us again on Drive Time. When you spoke to us last, the bank had announced this change last month with effect from September, I believe, and you in the Financial Services Union were asking them to negotiate. What's happened since?
Well, we've had some discussions with the bank, but we haven't made any progress. And therefore, we felt, given the time that is upon us, that we're very close to the 1st of September, which is the bank's planned introductory date, we felt we had no option but to refer the matter for an urgent hearing at the WRC.
And what's happened on that front? You've referred it for that hearing now. Do we know when that might take place?
No, but I know the WRC has been in contact with our office in order to arrange an early date. And it's crucial that we get an initial agreement at least to defer the starting date to allow us to have proper discussions on this key issue for workers in Bank of Ireland.
Now, Bank of Ireland said for many staff, hybrid working is not an option, so it's important to find a fair and balanced approach, as face-to-face interaction does help with teamwork and output, innovation and problem solving. And what they were asking here was for hybrid workers, or those eligible for it, to be in the office 8 days a month or 2 days per week. Was that not a reasonable request?
Well, you have to look at and see where we're coming from in terms of the base. So if you're somebody who works in Bank of Ireland, and remember the profits that the banks have made, the banks are booming in terms of that, and people's productivity is contributing to that. So if you're somebody who worked in the bank and worked very successfully, remotely or hybrid, maybe once or twice in that month that you met up with your team in your office and so forth, to go from that to 8 days is a very, austere approach for an organisation that prided itself and was an exemplar in terms of in terms of engaging with hybrid through COVID and beyond COVID. So this approach of taking a drastic and dramatic approach of setting a very near deadline on a day when people will be returning their kids to school and trying to make all those arrangements is just not feasible. And I think that's the first thing that has to happen, is for that date to be deferred, to allow us to have proper discussions in terms of a proper model of hybrid working in Bank of Ireland. It works for the bank, works for its customers, but also works for its staff.
So it was to happen from September 1st, which is just next week. That is still the plan. You're calling for a deferral, and hence you have referred this to the Workplace Relations Commission as well.
We're available, John, to go to the WRC urgently to address this initial issue and then to engage in proper discussions in relation to the other matters of concern to workers in Bank of Ireland.
Now, recently AIB announced that all staff would be required to return to the office 3 days a week. I think that this was obviously a very separate issue from the Bank of Ireland one, with AIB I think calling for this or implementing this change from January, if I remember correctly, John. What's the situation there? Are negotiations ongoing there with the Financial Services Union and AIB?
Yes, we had negotiations again today, and the bank has taken away our positions and they've committed to coming back to us next week. So we've plenty of time in the AIB case in terms of resolving, negotiating the issues and coming to an agreement in terms of what they propose. And we have challenges and that, but that's where dialogue comes in order to resolve these issues. And again, people in AIB, the same as Bank of Ireland, who have worked through COVID and have committed to the bank, again, record profits, high productivity, are expecting that their employers will listen.
For now, thank you for joining us. John O'Connell, General Secretary of the Financial Services Union there.